Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So welcome to the weekend, everybody. Hope you guys all had a great week. So yeah, this is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, yesterday we were looking at this 4-hour 9 at support. And yeah, it did turn the price around, which is pretty much to be expected to get a bounce here. We were talking about the upside obviously being around this 50k level, just below 50k level, where we can run into some resistance. But if we do get above this level, then we will start to be looking pretty good. But we were talking about if we don't get above this level, well, we could be looking like a head and shoulders. If we come back down to this support again, we could potentially lose it. And if we do, I think we'll be pretty quickly accelerating down to around the 40k level. So that is obviously not necessarily what is going to happen. We can basically, we're at a point now where we were at a point yesterday where we kind of had to hold this level. It would look bad. We're at a point now where we kind of, if we get above, say, well, still 50k, get above 50k, then we pretty much, we'll invalidate this head and shoulders, but also we would look to target a move back to the top. Top side resistance of around 52k, and then we can basically price action can test that level, try and break through, or it can consult, or it can maybe even pull back to test the 50k as support, the middle of our range, and then form a base there to bounce back and then break the 53k. So things obviously looking a lot better than they were yesterday, but yeah, I was pretty much saying to be out of the woods. Yesterday, I was saying to be out of the woods, we realistically want to be over 50k, and well, out of the medium term woods, basically, because we could still be looking at a head and shoulders here, and then if we do get lower than this low here and back down to this level, there's a better than zero chance we could, after a bit of a bounce and play out this level, this range, it's not even a range, but just down here, we could actually break through here and start to look, properly medium-term bearish. But yeah, like I said, that is the downside. That is basically what we're looking at to the downside. But to the upside, obviously it's weekend. You guys know what I kind of think about weekend price action. But if we can drift our way up, break through this 50k and hold above there, populate price action above there, I think that would be very bullish. And then even if when traditional markets and CMEs open on Monday, even just a pullback to even 50k, or even a wicks down trying to test down into lower than 50k, we'll probably get bought up and we will see more continuation to the upside. So yeah, things definitely are looking better than yesterday, but like I said, not out of the woods until we're basically above 50k. I wouldn't say. So yeah, that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see, having a little bit of a pop up here, nothing major. But this is looking like it's wanting to make a move. But the triggers for that move are going to be, or the levels are going to be this again. We keep saying the spot 0.33 to the upside. And well, we could probably raise it a bit higher. We could actually, I mean, this is where I've got the level drawn in, obviously from previous price action. But yeah, I mean, it potentially is a little bit higher. Maybe these wicks down here, which are pretty much 0.03. But I would probably, I mean, it's either way, you can kind of see if we get back down here. Especially because now we've moved up, it'll be quite a bit of a move down, that we could then potentially break these lows and then this level to the downside. But my bias is to the upside, and that is the way that price action has decided to attempt to break. In the shorter term, you can see we are basically above and holding these candle closes here. So we are looking shorter term bullish here, but again, the main thing is getting above this horizontal here, and once we do that, I think then the confidence will start to come back into in the Ethereum market versus Bitcoin. and then we can potentially see some acceleration. That could ultimately lead us to taking out these highs. USD pairing. USD pairing at an important level, as you can see. If you squint, maybe an inverted head and shoulders there, but either way, we're kind of looking at this level is of importance. And if we get back above here, we are probably on our merry way back to 2K and beyond. Let's have a quick look at GameStop. It just looked quite interesting there. Yeah, interesting price action. Look at that. Dead cat bounce. All of a sudden, a pretty savage dead cat bounce, and we're just kind of holding there. People might look at this as a bull flag and continuation to the upside, but I'm not too sure how I would feel about that. And I think this is just basically people deciding what they want to do up here. Basically, I think it is this to be honest is probably professional traders handing over shares to basically Robin Hood traders. Obviously, what format they do that. Whatever derivative they use to do that, not necessarily the actual shares, but passing risk. I think the professional traders are going to be passing basically. We're basically going short, and then people are going long. But we're at a relative equilibrium here. But eventually, that equilibrium is going to break one way, and well, my guess would be down, but we shall see. DXY, well, looking like it's got pretty much touched our level here, but still, obviously, this is still looking bullish. I would be looking at potentially getting through this level. Even if it is just on a little wick 4A basis for maybe a day or two. But yeah, we're basically getting to that zone we're looking at, basically getting to those basically low 92 levels, low 92s, where this market's pretty much then got to turn around. And if it does not, then onwards and upwards the dollar will potentially go. But yeah, I am heavily biased towards there being a rejection at some point around here. I guess there may be a lot of FOMO dollar shorters that have been feeling that are feeling like they're getting squeezed here. But yeah, continue to squeeze those guys. I think maybe get a bit of a blow off into the 92s. And then yeah, potentially then reverse and continue our way down. But I mean, we had been saying previously that when we were around these levels, everybody was everybody was bearish the dollar. Everybody was bearish the dollar, all over FinTwit, financial Twitter, everywhere. Everybody everywhere, basically everyone. So obviously that means the dollar literally had no further down to go. No room. There were no more sellers left. So and then we obviously had to have the pullback, and here's a pullback. And we are then waiting for obviously the selling to resume. Obviously with some people buying, covering short positions, etc. Then they're going to probably potentially look to put their shorts back on, but we shall see. That all important 10-year not closing at a level that the Fed is going to be particularly comfortable with. But we spoke about this at length in the last couple of days. So I mean, watch for an acceleration above to above 2%, and then basically, or not above or around here. Watch for an acceleration to around 2%, and then watch for the Fed to step in and the dollar index to get absolutely trolleyed. That would be my crystal ball prediction. You should always be careful though about basically predicting moves up and then down, because it's hard enough just to get the actual direction of the market at that point, either up or down, to let alone call it to go up and then reverse and come down. But anyway, what is silver doing? Silver here is struggling, as you can see, but it's just sideways consolidating in a larger range here. But yeah, I say struggling. It's just trading sideways, isn't it, on the longer term? And then gold as well. Gold definitely struggling. But this is an important level for gold. Basically, 1690. Did we actually got to? Yes. Basically around 60. This is a very important level. a Fibonacci retracement on numerous time frames from numerous levels, and yeah, 6090 is a big level. So it's not financial advice, but as this is as certain as you can be that as a level we're going to get a bounce from. Where would that bounce take us? I would propose. Well, I would propose it would take us to at least 1760. Maybe even as high as 1780. 1760 to 1780. I think we're going to get a bounce. See if we can draw a box in here, rectangle. Yeah, I think let's draw it in. Yeah, so we are basically from there. So I think we're going to get a bounce in gold up to here, up to this level, and then that's where my prediction would leave off. That is not to say that we can't regain this level and then start to go bullish again. I'm just saying that is a target. We can either get rejected or come down, or basically break it and then continue upwards. But I think we are gonna touch this zone, I think, before we go much lower. But hey, I could be wrong. But yeah, like I said, this is people waiting for a buy in gold. This is basically 1690 is the level. So the bounce should look good for at least up to here. But that is not financial advice. But hey, we'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. What's Doge doing? Just holding up there. This is crazy. This does look like a bull flag. In all fairness, this doesn't look like GameStop. This does look like a bull flag. But yeah. What a crazy world we live in. What else can we look at? What else can we look at? Oh, Tesla. How's Tesla doing? Yeah, Tesla. Not looking too good here. But it's got this level that it can, if it just holds above this level, well, I would guess at least sideways. Maybe it's not going to make new highs anytime soon, but I don't think it's going to really come down. But it will probably trade sideways here, have a bit of a bounce, and then if it is going to go full bearish, then take out this level. But we're not really that interested in what Tesla's doing, to be honest. But yeah, MicroStrategy as well. Just having a pullback. It's just a pullback, bro. And I think he's buying more Bitcoin as well. So yeah, I mean, this is basically just a de facto Bitcoin ETF. What else do you want to look at? The S&P had a pretty nice bounce. I mean, basically it's just traded to our level, and then bounced on basically 4-hour 9, which marked the low. So yeah, nothing to see there, guys. Pretty simple trading there, and also this downward sloping trend line, which we basically hit perfectly as well. So I mean, realistically, are we gunning for the high? Let's just extend this along. Are we gunning for this high and then going to have basically the breakup of a descending broadening wedge? Yeah, potentially. The Nasdaq is obviously not going to be looking as good, but then the Nasdaq doesn't have many have many commodity companies in it. It doesn't really have many oil majors in it or anything like that. It just has basically tech unicorns. It has basically just basically companies based on hopes and dreams. But yeah, some of those hopes and dreams do come true, but most of them don't. But yeah, bounced off of an important level here, as you can see. We could have extended this box along. Well, we can still do that. And yeah, you can see this level is currently bouncing price. So it's got a long way to go before it looks like it'll be out of the woods. I mean, this is basically the level I would say for the Nasdaq. Getting above here, then the Nasdaq will then probably continue to new highs. But obviously getting above there may be easier said than done. Maybe this would be a target for a nice bounce. Maybe this would be a target for a nice bounce. We'll draw this level in as well, as in a nice bounce too. And then get some form of rejection. This is actually a bit of a zone as well, but we'll just basically draw it here. So yeah, Nasdaq has got its work cut out for it, and is it fit for purpose? Is it going to be able to do that work? We shall see, but my guess is potentially not, with rising bond yields. So there you go. Bitcoin dominance, dominance. You guys know how I feel about this indicator. Obviously looking bearish, but now it's got Ethereum actually looking like it wants to make a move. So that obviously been the biggest proponent of this market, of basically what the Bitcoin trades against in this market. So in this asset, so yeah, Ethereum gets going along with the various bifurcation in other altcoin markets, basically evening out. If the biggest player, Ethereum, starts to gain dominance against Bitcoin, then this is going to tank pretty quickly. But like I said, I'll just be looking at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart to keep an eye on that. I wouldn't be paying a lot of attention to this anymore. For the time being at least, unless it starts to make really big moves to the upside, in which case it probably will make all altcoins struggle, even the stronger ones. So yeah, we'll have a look at the stochastics now. Weekend price action. Have we got the momentum to drift up to basically above 50k and hold and test this 52, 53k, or are we gonna paint this head and shoulders? So what are they looking at? Let's have a look. 4 hour looks like it is it's going to give us a good shot at testing 50k. We don't, obviously it doesn't imply we're going to break it. 10 hour not looking so good. 12 hour has turned back down. Daily is up though. 2 days down, 3 days. Yes, I mean we're in basically what I was looking for anyway, which is just sideways consolidation. Who knows the exact levels or ranges of it? 4 hour would suggest that we're gonna push up a little bit. Daily would suggest, but then 10 hour and 12 hour to the downside. Although I think 10 hour I believe did look like it's potentially losing its downward momentum. So it could turn back up. So I mean, if I had to pick a direction this weekend, I would have to pick basically we're going to come and test the top side, but that is also how I like to basically trade and analyze the market anyway. It's just levels to levels. So we touched the top, we started to pull back, so the target is the bottom. Touch the bottom, you start to pull back upwards, and the target becomes the top. Obviously this midpoints of levels are important. As you can see, got rejected. Once we got rejected, the target was the bottom, and then again it's just same once we break above, once we start to move back up, and especially once we start to take out the midpoint, then the target is the top. So that factor alone would basically give me a bias to the upside, especially over a weekend where we are just potentially going to drift. I think if we're going to drift, it's going to be to the upside, but we shall see. But anyway, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.